Picture this scenario. It's 3 in the morning. You're lying there, and once again, your bladder is demanding attention. You drag yourself out of bed, shuffle to the bathroom in the dark, and stand there waiting. When the flow finally starts, it's frustratingly weak and keeps stopping. You head back to bed knowing full well you'll be making this same trip again in just an hour or two. Meanwhile, your partner sleeps peacefully, completely unaware of the nightly battle you're fighting with your own body. This exhausting cycle affects more than half of all men over 50, and the culprit is something called benign prostatic hyperplasia or an enlarged prostate. Your prostate is about the size of a walnut, and it sits right around your urethra. Unlike most other parts of your body that stop growing after you reach adulthood, your prostate keeps expanding throughout your entire life. When it gets bigger, it squeezes your urethra like someone stepping on a garden hose, making urination difficult, painful, and incomplete. What if the solution isn't hiding in some expensive pharmaceutical lab or surgical suite? What if it's sitting right there in the produce section of your local grocery store? The fruit that can naturally help shrink your prostate is something you've probably eaten countless times before, maybe even dismissed as completely ordinary. I'm talking about the humble tomato. Yes, you heard that right. That same red fruit you slice for sandwiches or toss into salads contains one of nature's most powerful prostate-protecting compounds called lycopene. This remarkable substance is what gives tomatoes their vibrant red color, but its benefits go far beyond just looking good. Lycopene is a potent antioxidant that has a unique attraction to prostate tissue, accumulating there in higher concentrations than almost anywhere else in the male body. When lycopene reaches your prostate, it gets to work at the cellular level, fighting the inflammation and oxidative stress that drive prostate enlargement. Multiple scientific studies have proven just how effective this compound can be. Research published in major medical journals followed thousands of men for over a decade and found that those consuming the highest amounts of lycopene had significantly lower risks of developing serious prostate conditions. Other studies showed that men taking lycopene experienced meaningful reductions in prostate size and improvements in urinary symptoms in just a matter of weeks. The way lycopene works to shrink the prostate is actually pretty fascinating. It attacks the problem through several different pathways simultaneously. First, it reduces inflammation by blocking the inflammatory signals that cause prostate tissue to swell up. Second, it interferes with the enzyme that converts regular testosterone into dihydrotestosterone, which is the hormone primarily responsible for making your prostate grow larger. Third, lycopene promotes something called apoptosis, which is basically the natural death of excess prostate cells, allowing the gland to return to a healthier, more normal size. Now here's where things get really interesting. The way your body processes lycopene makes all the difference in how much benefit you actually get. Raw tomatoes do contain lycopene, but it's in a form that's somewhat difficult for your digestive system to absorb effectively. However, when tomatoes are cooked, heated, or processed in any way, the lycopene becomes much more bioavailable, meaning your body can absorb and use significantly more of it. This is why cooked tomato products like tomato paste, sauce, and soup are actually superior to raw tomatoes when it comes to prostate health. The cooking process breaks down the tough cell walls and converts the lycopene into a form that your intestines can readily absorb. Studies have shown that processed tomato products can provide up to 4 times more absorbable lycopene than fresh tomatoes straight off the vine. To get maximum prostate shrinking benefits, you need to be strategic about how you consume tomatoes. Research suggests that the optimal amount of lycopene for prostate health falls between 6 to 10 milligrams daily. In practical terms, this translates to approximately 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, half a cup of tomato sauce, or 1 large glass of tomato juice per day. But timing and preparation matter enormously for getting the most out of this natural remedy. Lycopene is what scientists call fat-soluble, which means it absorbs much better when you consume it alongside healthy fats. Adding a drizzle of olive oil to your tomato sauce or eating tomatoes with avocado can increase lycopene absorption by up to 300%. This explains why Mediterranean populations who regularly consume tomatoes with olive oil have some of the lowest rates of prostate problems anywhere in the world. Temperature is equally crucial for maximizing benefits. Heat not only makes lycopene more bioavailable but also increases its overall concentration. Sun-dried tomatoes contain some of the highest levels of absorbable lycopene, followed by tomato paste and sauce. Even canned tomatoes, which many health-conscious people tend to avoid, can be excellent sources of lycopene because of the heating process used during canning. You might be wondering about other foods that contain lycopene. While watermelon, pink grapefruit, and guava do contain this beneficial compound, tomatoes provide it in the most concentrated and easily absorbed form. The lycopene in tomatoes also comes packaged with other beneficial compounds that work together synergistically to support prostate health. One of these companion compounds is beta-carotene, which enhances lycopene's antioxidant effects. Another is folate, which supports healthy cell division and may help prevent the abnormal cell growth associated with prostate enlargement. Tomatoes also contain potassium, which helps regulate fluid balance and may improve urinary symptoms that come with an enlarged prostate. The timeline for seeing results varies from person to person, but most men report noticeable improvements within 4 to 8 weeks of consistent tomato consumption. Early changes typically include stronger urine flow, fewer nighttime bathroom trips, and more complete bladder emptying. As prostate inflammation decreases and the gland begins to shrink back toward normal size, these improvements become even more pronounced. However, consistency is absolutely critical for success. Lycopene doesn't build up and stay in your body like some other nutrients do. You need regular daily intake to maintain therapeutic levels in your prostate tissue. Missing days here and there or consuming tomatoes sporadically won't provide the sustained benefits your prostate needs to heal and shrink. For men already taking prescription prostate medications, tomatoes can serve as a complementary therapy that may eventually allow you to reduce your pharmaceutical dependence. However, never stop taking prescribed medications without first consulting your physician. The goal here is to support your conventional treatment while addressing the underlying causes of prostate enlargement naturally. Some men worrying about the natural acidity in tomatoes affecting their stomach or bladder. While tomatoes are indeed somewhat acidic, the processing methods that increase lycopene bioavailability often reduce this acidity. If you have a sensitive stomach, start with smaller amounts and gradually increase over time. You can also choose low-acid tomato varieties or consume tomatoes with meals to minimize any potential digestive discomfort. Quality matters significantly when selecting tomatoes for prostate health. Organic tomatoes typically contain higher levels of lycopene and other beneficial compounds compared to conventionally grown varieties. Vine-ripened tomatoes have more lycopene than those picked green and ripened artificially during shipping. When choosing processed tomato products, look for options without added sugars or excessive sodium that could counteract the health benefits. One simple way to incorporate therapeutic amounts of tomatoes into your daily routine is through a prostate-supporting smoothie. Blend tomato juice with a splash of olive oil, a handful of fresh spinach for additional nutrients, and a small amount of black pepper, which contains a compound called piperine that enhances nutrient absorption. This combination provides concentrated lycopene in a highly absorbable form that's easy to consume every single day. The scientific evidence supporting tomatoes for prostate health continues to grow stronger. Recent research suggests that lycopene may not only help shrink enlarged prostates but also reduce the risk of more serious prostate conditions and improve overall male reproductive health. Men consuming high amounts of lycopene show improved hormone levels, better reproductive function, and reduced inflammation throughout their entire reproductive system. What makes this natural approach so appealing compared to pharmaceutical interventions is its outstanding safety profile. Unlike prescription drugs, eating tomatoes daily carries virtually no risk of adverse effects. The worst-case scenario is consuming too much lycopene over an extended period, which might temporarily give your skin a slightly orange tint. This is a completely harmless condition that reverses quickly when intake is reduced. As you embark on this natural journey toward better prostate health, remember that lifestyle factors work together synergistically. Regular physical exercise, effective stress management, adequate quality sleep, and maintaining a healthy body weight all support optimal prostate function and enhance the benefits you lines get from lycopene. Reducing alcohol consumption and avoiding excessive caffeine can also help improve the urinary symptoms that come with an enlarged prostate. The power to naturally shrink your prostate and reclaim comfortable, uninterrupted sleep truly lies in your own hands. One simple, affordable fruit consumed consistently and prepared properly can transform your quality of life without the expense and potentially serious side effects of conventional pharmaceutical treatments. Your prostate has been quietly calling out for the natural healing compounds found in tomatoes. The nightly bathroom trips, the weak stream, the interrupted sleep, and the embarrassment you've been dealing with don't have to be your reality anymore. It has time to answer that call and give your body the natural support it desperately needs and deserves. Start today, stay consistent, and prepare to experience the difference that this remarkable fruit can make in your life.